Hi! Welcome to my sketchbook tour for October 2020. I haven't done one of these for over a year, and honestly, while working on this, I kinda understood why my sketchbook tours are few and far between. Last year, I wasn't able to participate in Inktober because I was away for the month of October, but seeing as how I've become a bit of a homebody against my wishes for all of 2020, I decided it was time for me to start filling up my neglected empty sketchbooks for a change. I think I've mentioned this before, but I don't really enjoy drawing traditionally anymore, even though I do think it's important to do it every now and then. And I like the feeling of being able to flip through pages of my own art, but God, does it get frustrating sometimes. Anyways, you'll probably hear me complain about it more once I actually start flipping through my October drawings. But before that, the first 10 drawings in this sketchbook are actually from a challenge I did for fun earlier this year, where I drew my persona in 10 different styles from mangaka who've inspired me growing up. I'm just gonna briefly flip through those as sort of an appetizer before we get to the main course of the video, but you'll probably recognize a couple styles. Like, you might recognize Takeshi Obata, who did the art for Death Note, or Clamp, or the spooky story mangaka god himself, Junji Ito. This challenge was a lot of fun because I really felt like I was in my element, and it was fun trying to study how these artists drew eyes or hair the way that they did. Did I do an accurate job? I don't know. I think some were hit or miss, but I'm overall happy with how most of them turned out. I posted these on my Instagram and Twitter back when I finished them, same with my October drawings, but for those of you who just follow me on YouTube, you get to see these with fresh eyes in video form. Okay, so here we go. Cute Girl-tober 2020. Now you might be wondering, why do you call it Cute Girl-tober? So I didn't follow the official Inktober prompt this year because I actually wanted to enjoy myself. So instead, I followed a prompt called Cute Girl-tober made by an artist named Ocean and Space, where you draw a cute girl that matches the word of the day for every day of October. Ocean and Space is a really lovely artist, so her links will be in the description if you'd like to look at her cute, big-eyed shoujo-esque art. Anyways, I thought, I can just draw cute girls on a daily basis and nothing else? Sign me the hell up! Most of the girls that I've drawn are existing characters, with just a couple original ones, because I knew if I tried to come up with 31 original girls on top of working on a video on the side, neither one would get done, so I aimed for the option that let me turn my brain off for just a little bit. Names of the characters and the show or movie they originated from will be written in the corner of each page, so I don't have a million people in the comments going, "Who's the character at insert timestamp here?" But honestly, I'll probably still see lots of comments like that because the text might not be very visible, or you just didn't feel like reading today. So this drawing I did of Ibuki from Danganronpa is actually one of my favorites out of all the ones I've done. That's right, we're peaking at day 4, fellas! I'm just really pleased with the fact that I didn't totally screw up the inking, and I know the pink should be way more purple, but I only had like 6 colors to work with because I don't have very many art supplies, and Copic markers are dumb expensive. The next time I do something like this, I'll probably invest in a wider variety of supplies, but for now, you're gonna see the same 6 marker shades throughout this entire tour, and I'm sorry. I think the drawings I did at the beginning of the month were consistently pretty good, but as I further progressed with the avatar animatic I was working on, that slowly started taking priority, so I had to spend less and less time on each Inktober drawing, and at one point, I fell completely behind. You know the feeling, I know you do. Also, by the way, if you see any weird white splotches on any of the drawings, it means I screwed up the inking, went over it with whiteout, and then had to draw over it. I bring this up because I think I had to do this for nearly all of the drawings, so if it's noticeable, you're gonna get used to seeing that. I genuinely had a lot of fun with this prompt, and I feel accomplished for doing this many traditional ink drawings. I'm just saying, it wasn't a totally struggle-free experience. I don't want anyone feeling bad about their art because they have a hard time with inking. Believe me, it's stressful for me too. Trying to ink the mouth without screwing it up or making it squiggly feels like I'm diffusing a really sensitive bomb. When you get used to the convenience of Ctrl-Z and the lasso tool, drawing on paper becomes so much more painful. By the way, a lot of people freaked out at me when I posted this. And guys, it's just lingerie. It's cute underwear, that's literally all it is. I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes people wear lingerie for themselves because it makes them feel confident or pretty, and sometimes people wear it for someone else, which is also fine. Grow up! Anyways, welcome to a page of irreparable mistakes disguised as a lovely page of stickers. There's some mistakes I don't mind showing to the world, but sometimes a drawing comes out so ugly not even I wish to gaze upon it. So it has a new life as a lovely sticker display page. This was supposed to be for day 10, which I redrew a couple pages later, so unfortunately some of the numbers aren't in order. But don't worry, they'll all be there. Okay, so if you'll allow me to complain a bit more, I gotta say, I never got used to how many eraser shavings I produced when working on these. I'm not one of those super confident art gods who can draw directly on the paper with ink with no prior pencil sketch, which, by the way, how do people do that and still make their line art look clean? Who do I have to sell my soul to acquire that level of skill? Having to sweep up eraser shavings after every drawing session is just inconvenient. I'm just grateful I have hardwood flooring and not carpet, so I can just use a dustpan and not have to bust out a vacuum cleaner every time. And if I'm being totally honest, I still have eraser shavings on my floor as we speak that I have yet to sweep up. Don't judge me! Ooh, okay, so I didn't post day 14 at all anywhere because I didn't really like how it turned out. I wanted to draw it in honor of Sultan and Wolfie because they love Kingdom Hearts. I've never played it. But after I was done, I was like, I don't know if this is post-worthy. So, yeah. Oh, and this one is the redraw of the page I messed up on earlier. So since the prompt was mushroom, I decided to draw a girl based off of the enoki mushroom, which is my favorite kind to eat. They're these white bundles of small skinny mushrooms, and they taste amazing in soups and stews because they just absorb the flavor of whatever broth they're sitting in, and they're really nice and crunchy. Here we have Konosuba's resident best girl, Aqua, in day 15's prompt, swimsuit. I actually have an Aqua cosplay planned for next year with Daitis as Kazuma, so I'm really hoping it'll be safe enough for cons to open up again, but I'm not going to keep my hopes up too much. Here's my second page of mistakes, disguised as a cute little sticker page. I guess one nice thing about having a drawing I'm super unhappy with is being able to use the stickers I keep hoarding. I'm wondering if maybe next year I'll try doing my Inktober drawings digitally, so it'll be an easier time. But at the same time, I really like the fact that all the drawings are compiled together in one sketchbook. I still have my sketchbooks from previous Sketchbook tour videos sitting on my bookshelf, and it feels nice to be able to pick them up and flip through them to remind myself how much I've improved since the last one. Okay, here's another drawing that I didn't post. This one was for the prompt Your OC, and I drew my OC named Marzipan that I'd made a few years ago that some of my OG viewers might remember. I'd love to redesign her, I just need to find the time to sit down and actually flesh out her design and personality. I hope I'm not sounding too negative while I'm going through these, it's just that there's a lot of mistakes and I feel comfortable with pointing them out to sort of show what my process or experience was like trying to draw on paper again after a long while. I really enjoy doing these, even if I'd fallen behind and had to do multiple in a day to catch up. Drawing in the sketchbook felt kind of therapeutic in a way. I think because I was working on other things simultaneously on my tablet, it felt like a nice break every time I cleared off the living room table and took out all of my inking pens and markers. Sometimes when I'm working on a video, I'll spend my breaks playing games with friends like Among Us or League of Legends or Phasmophobia, but because it's still in the same space where I work is still always in the back of my mind during times when I should be relaxing, so being able to move to wherever I want to sit down and draw feels nice. I think portable tablets are good for the same reason. Here's another drawing I didn't post. The theme for this day was Alice, so I drew Chihiro from Spirited Away in an Alice in Wonderland costume, because I thought their stories were kind of similar. I could have done a lot more with this idea, but I didn't give myself the time to add extra details or whatever. I've seen artists pump out fully colored illustrations for every day of October, and they've somehow managed to keep it up without fail. I have no idea how they do it, but I think it's insane. Okay, so I erased and redrew this one like a dozen times, but I was never pleased with the result, so I settled for this. This is Plumeria, my old D&D character from years ago. She's a pixie bard, and she has an entire backstory that I'd love to get into in a video someday, but I don't know how interested my audience would be in that sort of thing. For the prompt Moon, I drew Princess Yue from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I was really happy to see that my recent Avatar animatic was well received because I actually do have one more planned. It's not really related to the first one in any way, but I hope you still enjoy it when I finish drawing. And also to anyone who's either unfamiliar with Avatar or just isn't interested in Avatar-related content, don't worry, my usual content will return, I assure you. I feel like I've always just uploaded whatever I wanted, and I think if inspiration hits me at the right moments, I should take the opportunity when I can. I think inspiration is a little hard to come by these days anyway, especially since a lot of potential new experiences have been cut short or postponed. And here's another Danganronpa character, Celestia Ludenberg. Her hair drills were a lot of fun to draw in color, and I have a lot more fun drawing girls with weird, long, intricate hair and clothing, which is probably why I had so much fun with Ibuki too. Here's my final mistake page. This was supposed to be Ty Lee for day 30, but I colored in this area because I made an oopsie, and then I colored in the rest of the pieces and realized I totally hated it, so I had to redraw it on another page, which is right here. I changed the pose so she's ribbon dancing, which I thought suited her. And by the way, I also have a Ty Lee cosplay on hand that I want to wear at some point next year. But I should work on being a bit more flexible first. Because I can't even touch my toes. Never could. Maybe I'll change that this year, probably not. And lastly, we have the prompt Witch for Halloween. This drawing is based off of a set of drawings I did back in July, where I drew myself and some friends as different types of witches. I really love the dress I drew for my witchy outfit, and I'd love for it to be a real outfit one day, including the big magic staff. Happy Halloween! And that concludes my Cute Girltober sketchbook tour of 2020. There's not much else after this except for this page of really messy marker and pen swatches, but other than that, this challenge is officially completed. So, with that being said, now that we've made it to the end, I'd like to give a big thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this sketchbook tour. I'm sure you've heard all about ExpressVPN multiple times, but if you don't know, ExpressVPN is a virtual private network that creates a secure tunnel between your device and the internet when you connect to an unencrypted Wi-Fi network, like at a coffee shop, or an airport, or a hotel, so you're protected from any sneaky spies or hackers trying to gain access to your personal information. Obviously, since I haven't been frequenting any of those, I've been taking advantage of ExpressVPN's content unblocking feature. For example, some of my favorite animated films include Your Name, The Cat Returns, and Spirited Away. Unfortunately, none of those titles are currently available on the US Netflix I normally use. However, if I switch to the UK, with a click of a button, bada bing bada boom, I have access to Spirited Away and The Cat Returns, and also Your Name. If there's a YouTube video that's blocked in your region for whatever reason, just switch to any one of the servers out of the 94 different countries you have to choose from. Enjoy internet privacy, security, and access to unblocked content today, and find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description below at expressvpn.com/emeritu. Thank you again to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video.